What's up, everyone? Eli here, back for part 3 of my new stuff video. All DVDs today. All pretty much, well, almost all horror movies, but, horror-oriented stuff. That's, as you know, that's pretty much what I collect. Horror, a little bit of sci-fi, but, dude, I got a problem. I have a huge problem. I've just been picking way too much stuff up lately. It's got to stop. It's not like I've been spending a ton of money. I mean, most of this, if not all of this stuff, I'm getting really, really cheap. And it's a lot of it I wasn't even just seeking out. It just kind of came my way. But anyways, we'll get through this together. I got my pub beer by 10 Barrel Brewing. I don't know if you guys have ever had this. It's pretty good. It's kind of become one of my go-to beers. I don't drink a lot of beer, not nearly as much as I used to, but I don't know if you guys have 10 Barrel stuff available in your area. Check it out. When I do drink beer, I do kind of tend to prefer lagers and, kind of lighter stuff like that. But I don't know. I like it. So, anyways, I kind of have these sorted out into categories or subcategories. Or I tried to make some sense of it. I'm going to start off with a couple. I'll just say newer movies that I've missed. Newer, like over the last year or two. So we're going to start with 2020's Russian film, another Shudder original. I've been picking up a good amount of Shudder originals. Almost all of them have been really good. So we're talking about Super Deep. Like I said, it is a Russian movie. I have not watched it yet. Super Deep. You guys seen it? Did I waste my money? I will say, as we get a little deeper into this video, as I've done with music, I need to kind of stop blind buying movies unless I get them like dirt cheap. But I don't know. I've been blind buying a lot of movies lately, and it doesn't always pay off. So this is another creature feature that I was interested in, and I enjoyed it. But I think just streaming it would have been fine. Watching it on Shudder or whatever. I don't think I need to buy it, and I really don't think I needed to own it. But a decent movie nonetheless. We're talking 2021's Antlers. You guys may have heard of this. You may have seen it. It's kind of been. I've seen it in a ton of videos on horror-oriented channels here. I'm mostly praising it. I don't think anyone has said it's the best movie they've ever seen, but mostly praise. And while I don't disagree with that, I just feel like this is. I liked it. The monster looked cool. The acting was good. The characters were decent, fairly likable. I just don't think this is one that has any staying power in my movie rotation. Like I don't know when I'm going to watch this again. It would take somebody to basically like, hey, I want to watch this. Will you watch it with me? Type of thing. I don't know why I would need to watch it again. I'm not sure, but like I said, decent. I didn't know that it was produced by Guillermo del Toro and David S. Goyer. So you got some pretty big people back in this. Yeah, I don't know. Decent movie. Certainly not great. Same with this one. Decent movie. I just really, really did not need to own this. I mean, I don't see myself ever watching this again, as decent as it is. So we're talking about 2021's The Night House. Well acted, well directed, decent storyline. I might even say slightly original. My problem with this movie is that it just wasn't scary. I just felt like this movie is way too safe. It's basically about this woman who, and it's heartbreaking. It's sad. Her husband has recently died by suicide. He killed himself. And as if that's not hard enough already on her, she finds out that he had secrets. He had been like seeing women, basically behind her back. And I don't want to give too much away, but she finds out that it not only was he seeing women, but it got even more sinister than that. So without spoiling it, all I'm going to say is there's just, how I always say that a lot of horror movies are better without too many details. Like when a horror movie gives too much away, sometimes that takes away from the movie. In this movie, I think a little bit more would have been good. Like there are some cool themes going on here. Like the guy was He had like an interest in the occult. He was like, kind of studying some occult practices, but it barely touches on that. If you're going to throw something cool like that into a movie, elaborate a little bit more. I don't know. This is the type of movie where less is not more. And yeah, there were a couple kind of scary parts. It just was way too safe, and that's not why I watch horror. I want something that pushes the boundaries even just a little bit, and this movie does not do that. Next category, I have some old classics that I either haven't seen or I have seen and I've wanted to own them for a long time. Like this one, I've wanted this movie forever, for years and years. We're talking about In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter. I shouldn't elaborate too much on this because this movie is going to make an appearance in my Lovecraftian movie video part 2, which should be out soon. Should be out in a couple days or next week or whatever. So this movie came out in 1995. It's a John Carpenter movie. This movie is a blast. If you're a Lovecraft fan, this movie is just absolutely loaded with Lovecraftian lore references all over the movie. If you're a Lovecraft Lovecraft fan, this movie is just so fucking fun. If you're not into Lovecraft, I think a lot of it will just go way over your head. You probably still like the movie, but it won't be nearly as fun for you. So, you gotta love Scream Factory. Got the reversible. That is the original cover, which is awesome. But I like the newly done artwork version. This next one, holy shit, Sam Neill again. This movie came out in 1981. This is a Polish movie. Oddly enough, I only really have even became aware of this movie probably within the last couple of months, maybe a year. I just kind of heard of it here and there. I'm kind of surprised that I hadn't heard about it years ago. But as soon as I learned about this movie, it's just like I had to have it. It's not a super easy one to get. I got it off Amazon, and I paid more for this than I've ever paid for a movie in my life. I think it was like $40. But I don't regret it because I've already watched it. This movie is fucking insane. We're talking about Possession, 1981, directed by directed by that guy. It has this really, really nice slipcase. You take the slipcase off. That's what the front looks like. I think it looks really cool without the title of the movie. I mean, this package is amazing. On the inside, it's got DVD, of course, and it's got the original artwork, or two different versions of original artwork. So basically, you get three different versions of artwork for this movie. This movie is absolutely fucking crazy. Definitely one of the most Lovecraftian movies I've ever seen. I don't know much about this Polish director. He has to be a Lovecraft fan. It's got everything. This movie has everything a Lovecraft fan would want. It's got themes of insanity, unexplained alien creatures. I mean, yeah, this movie is just mind-bogglingly crazy. I'm not saying it's the best movie I've ever seen, but it is wild, and it's a wild movie, man, especially for 1981. On these next two movies, I've only vaguely heard of in the past. I really don't know that much about them. I've only seen the first zombie movie, the Italian Zombie. These are, I guess, somehow related. I think they're not done by the same person. This one anyway. Zombie 4, put out by Shriek Show, directed by Christopher Mantovi. I'm not familiar with. I am kind of a novice when it comes to Italian, like classic Italian horror. So yeah, like I said, I've only seen Zombie 1. I don't even think I've seen Zombie 2. So I certainly haven't seen 3, and I certainly haven't seen 4. And this one I've kind of heard of in the past. I'm sure it's terrible. Zombie 5, Killing Birds. So we got a zombie bird movie. Did we need that? Did anyone ask for that? I don't know. Probably not, but it sounds fun, right? I don't know how many zombie movies there are in this series. I think that this is the last one, but I could be wrong. Pretty nicely done, right? This Shriek show, not bad. And another classic that I've always wanted to own this. I've only seen it once in the past, and I've been meaning to rewatch this for like at least 10 or 15 years. We're talking about The Changeling. George C. Scott, the great George C. Scott. Just a classic ghost story. Yeah. Check out The Changeling if you've never seen it. Next, I have two Vinegar Syndrome releases. I've been trying to scoop up as many Vinegar Syndrome releases as I can because they're fucking awesome. This Vinegar Syndrome might be the best kind of boutique studio out there right now. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think they're second to none. So this one, I've been wanting to see this for a while. This is a 1985 kind of a low budget alien movie. From what I've heard, this is kind of an alien ripoff in a way. We're talking about Creature. I've only vaguely heard about this in passing. Never seen it. Of course, you have the reversible cover that all Vinegar Syndrome movies have. It's pretty cool. I like the one that I like that one better. And I got another one. This is from 2021. Really stoked to watch this. Can't wait to watch it. Maybe I'll get to it tonight. We are talking about Censor. Most of the Vinegar Syndrome movies that I pick up are like old unearthed movies from the 70s and 80s. This one is, this is a recent movie, like I said, from 2021. This is basically, the story just sounds so cool. It's about this, let's see, I think it takes place in the 80s, back when the UK, when the whole Video Nasty debacle was taking place. I'm sure you guys know about the Video Nasty film review shit that was going on back then. This is basically about a woman who it is her job to watch movies and determine whether or not it's a video nasty, and she ends up seeing movies that look really, really similar to like shit that's happened to her in her real life. And that's all I know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen it yet. But if you don't know anything about video nasties, go ahead and just do a Google search. It's some pretty wild shit. But yeah, Censor. What do you think? And I got one from Severin Films, which is probably my other favorite, boutique studios, right next to Vinegar Syndrome. Love what Severin puts out. This is a 1983 kind of lost classic from what I've heard. This is like a folk, this kind of falls in the folk horror genre. Talking about Eyes of Fire. As soon as I saw that cover, I saw the Severin logo, I just grabbed it. I'm like, I'm buying this. On the back, I mean, it says the war, Lost American Folk Classic. Imagine the Scarlet Letter colliding with The Exorcist. I was already sold on the cover, but after reading that, fuck yeah. So can't wait to watch that. Got a couple other lost classics. Like this one, I honestly, I haven't even heard of this. But I've done some research on it. Sounds really cool. 1978. We got Hitchhiker. Now, obviously, I've seen The Hitcher. Very cool movie. I don't know, maybe that was a 70s thing, hitchhiking horror movies. But this is a Blue Underground release. Another one of my favorite boutique studios. I love Blue Underground. They've been in the game a pretty long time at this point. Way before Vinegar Syndrome and Severin and stuff like that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Hitchhike? And the other Blue Underground movie I got, another kind of classic that I've never owned and I've never seen either. We're talking about The Prowler. I have been wanting to get this one for a long time. 1981. Just a good old American slasher movie from what I have heard and what I have seen. And what do we got under that disc? Something bloody. Awesome. Sure that you guys have heard of this one. It's definitely kind of a cult classic. And the other stack, these are just some random movies that I picked out. I got a couple monster flicks. Yeah, just some random shit. Excuse me. Yeah, I probably shouldn't drink while I do videos. I'm sure this is going to be even more messy than any of my shit is. Cheers, guys. I'm not drunk by any means. I'm a little buzzed, but this one I've been wanting to see for a long time. I am a big David Cronenberg fan. I prefer his horror stuff, but I stand by my opinion that anything he does is worth watching. And we're talking about Crash. I actually didn't really know about this one until a couple months ago. James Spader, Holly Hunter. From what I can tell and from what I've read, is that this is not a horror movie, but it's David Cronenberg, and I had to have it. Obviously, this is not the nicest version. There's a really nice version of this movie that came out, I think, recently. Yeah, I can't remember who released it, but Criterion. Yeah, it's a Criterion collection. I just got. Remember these fucking things? These were the worst, but whatever. So I kind of like the first two VHS movies. I forgot that there were two more that came after that, and I haven't seen them, so I thought I'd pick them up. Well, at least one of them, anyways. I got VHS Viral. There's this, and then there's one more, like VHS 1990 or some shit like that. This is from 2014. Crazy that it came out 8 years ago. I don't know. I guess I've overlooked it for 8 years. So this is an anthology movie. If you haven't seen any of the VHS movies, I think they're a lot of fun. Like in most anthology movies, not every individual section is going to be great, but usually a couple of them are, and that kind of makes it worthwhile for me. What are your guys' thoughts on the VHS movies? I know they're hit and miss for pretty much everybody, but I think they're fun. This is another one that I've been meaning to see for quite a while. Got it really super, super cheap. It Comes at Night. This is a A24 slash Lionsgate release. I like A24 movies. They seem to put out cool shit. Oh, I really, really like the first Cloverfield movie. I know that one's hit and miss for a lot of people, which I don't know why. Dude, I think it's a blast. And I always kind of wanted to see the other two Cloverfield movies, but for some reason I just kind of overlooked them. So I got this cool Cloverfield 3 movie collection, even though I already did own the first one. I don't know, whatever. Now I have all three in one case. So obviously you have the original Cloverfield, produced by J.J. Abrams. It's basically a modern day Godzilla movie. I think it's good. I think it's really good. I like it a lot, in fact. So the Cloverfield Paradox was 10 Cloverfield Lane was the second one. These movies are all entirely different. There isn't a lot, if anything, that links them, to be honest. Especially the first two. The third one does kind of link to the first. The second one is kind of an anomaly. I don't know if it was always intended to be a Cloverfield movie at all, because it doesn't really tell you when it takes place in reference to the first one. But it's an entirely different movie. It's basically about this girl who gets in a car accident, and she wakes up basically tied up in somewhere where she doesn't recognize. She doesn't know what happens. Anyway, she finds out that some guy basically found her after she got in her car accident, took her to his house, chained her up in his basement, and he tells her that He's like, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. And she's like, okay, well, let me go then. He's like, you can't go outside. You didn't hear what happened? She's like, no. And he's like, the world is basically ending. The air outside is toxic. You cannot leave. And she did the rest of the movie is basically about her figuring out, is he lying? Is he a crazy motherfucker, or is he right? Is he actually trying to help me? And she kind of bounces back and forth on what to believe, and I don't know, a lot of tension going on. I think it's really good. It's fairly believable. John Goodman is in this. I absolutely love John Goodman. He kills it. Yeah, really, really, really good movie. Honestly, I enjoyed it so much more than I expected to. I can't really say the same for the third installment, the Cloverfield Paradox. So this one is about pretty much the Earth has pretty much on the verge of running out of fuel, and in order to solve the fuel crisis, scientists have basically built this machine that is supposedly able to generate a new kind of energy that we can use and get right back to fucking up the Earth like we always have. And it's about these astronauts that go up into space to test the device, I think. I might be wording that slightly wrong, but you get the gist of it. Anyways, they go up into space, they're testing this device, and then things go wrong. I don't want to spoil it, but it kind of has to do with it kind of involves the multiverse theory. It's kind of cool. I really like the concept. I don't think it was executed as well as it probably could have been. Still a decent movie. Let's just say, without spoiling, at the end it does tie into the first Cloverfield movie a little bit. You'll have to watch it yourself to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, pretty decent movie. Definitely worth a watch. But I much prefer the first two. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the Cloverfield movies? This one I only just found out about the other day, and as soon as I found out about it, I just had to go get myself a copy. This is from 2008, Australian movie, Dying Breed. It was one of those After Dark Horror Fest movies. This is an Australian, basically cannibal movie. That's what I know. I haven't seen it yet. I've just heard that it's super, super gruesome and a decent watch, and yeah. This next one is, I guess, kind of similar to that. This is kind of like a Western horror movie, which is kind of a cool subgenre of horror that I think should be done more often. Because I really like Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if you guys saw that. I've kind of seen this kind of compared to Bone Tomahawk. We're talking about The Burrowers. This came out in 2008. What's up with all these 2008 movies? Weird. Anyways, this is just basically about, it takes place in the Wild West. And there are just some kind of like monsters that live underground. They kill people. From what I know, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I know, people at first they think it's Native American tribes, only to learn that it's something that humanity has never seen before. Sounds cool. I've heard it's pretty decent. I've heard the monsters are cool. I've heard it's nice and gruesome, and that's enough for me to pay a couple of bucks for a used copy. So, anyways. So, anyways, I have a huge, huge stack of CDs to show you guys soon. I did not plan on buying any of these. Like I said, they just kind of came my way. A couple of them are new 2022 releases that I did need. The rest of it is just cool shit that I bought that I found randomly. Yeah, so next update's going to be mostly CDs and a couple cassette tapes. And hopefully within a week or less, I'll have my Lovecraftian movies part 2 done for you. Yeah, if any Lovecraft fans, please watch this. I think it's gonna turn out pretty decent. I kind of put a lot of work into it, so I would love to hear your thoughts. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about everything. So let's talk about some horror movies, huh? I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go drink my beer. I'm gonna hang out with Louie. He's right there. He says hello. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Cheers.